So recently, Rivals had a big announcement. The Ascended 4 Workshop characters would be releasing this week. I've been excited to play them, and since they've released, I've been having an absolute blast. But, as is to be expected, these aren't quite the same as the original counterparts of these characters. If you're familiar with the Workshop versions of them, some things are going to be very different than before. I wanted to take some time to highlight the differences briefly, and talk about what's majorly different. I'm not going to go into specific stat changes or anything, just the things that are going to significantly change the experience, so you know what to look out for. Let's start with the least changed character, Olympia. Olympia is a weird case, as she received a massive update in between the base cast announcement and the release, so she's been somewhat in line with her current version for quite a bit. However, one big difference is that the neutral special has been severely nerfed. On Workshop Olympia, you can press special to instantly cancel your attack in the field, stunning the opponent and giving you a free combo into anything. You can also push special outside of a combo in the field to hop to the center, deactivating the field for a bit. Neither of these mechanics exist in base cast, and it's instead a simple field that can be placed and detonated now. However, the detonation itself is a little different this time, as Olympia now crystallizes opponents instead of just stunning them. Crystallized opponents will fall to the ground encased in crystal, before it explodes, popping them up for all sorts of combo extensions. On paper, this is a glorified stun, but it certainly looks cooler. There is still a field interaction, and then that's in terms of the new side-graded forward special. In Workshop, you could jump cancel the startup of this move as much as you wanted, making it an incredibly oppressive movement tool. Now, the move can only be jump cancelled in the field. As a trade-off, you jump further and can do it at any point in the move, including after the hit lands. This has some absolutely crazy combo and mix-up potential, so lab to your heart's content. Other than that, the rest of the changes are fairly basic. There's a new down strong that's pretty similar to the old one, except its range gradually increases the longer you charge it. It's pretty cool. Also, focus attack inflicts the crystallized state and has practically no cooldown on the dash cancel, but only had one hit of armor now. Besides those things, Olympia stayed mostly the same, which is perfectly fine since she was already a really solid character. Pomme is in a similar boat to Olympia. The character stayed pretty similar to the already phenomenal Workshop counterpart, although they decided to rework a few moves to make this character incredibly strong. The biggest of these is probably the neutral special. In Workshop, this move is Hit Single, a weak projectile that needs to be primed like a peach turnip, and bounces along the ground. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the name of this move is now, because it's definitely not a single, more like a whole EP. By holding neutral special, Pomme can store up to 4 music notes. Upon using the move again, Pomme will passively start throwing the notes one by one. Pomme is fully actionable during this, giving her a great chance to use the notes for cover and mix-ups. If she's hit, she will lose all the notes though, so be careful. Vince has also been greatly reworked. Instead of just appearing in front of Pomme and doing a quick toss upwards, Vince can now be charged and will bolt across the stage, similar to Zelda's Phantom. He still blocks projectiles too. However, the grab is more of a utility than anything. While he will attempt to throw the opponent back towards Pomme, the actual throw does 0 damage, so be ready to follow up. The rest of the changes are more minor but are still pretty interesting. For one, you can no longer replace down special if one is out. It still gives you all of the same benefits, but you gotta think more carefully about where to place it. This might be a lack of experience, but I swear it also seems like canceling out a float better keeps momentum. You can go crazy far with forward air cancels now. Lastly, while this is true of almost all of the characters, I really gotta give special notice to the amazing visual and sound enhancements to Pomme. The only completely reanimated move is up tilt, though it's the same otherwise. But the music sound effects are so good, and they just really tie this whole character together. The character I've been playing the most, Mollo, has a lot of very significant additions that vastly expand his moveset. The biggest of these is that Mollo has to actively be holding bombs by using neutral special to get one out, rather than always having them ready. I'll talk more about the bombs themselves in a second, but what this means is that without bombs, Mollo has a full set of strongs now. Forward strong is this far-reaching multi-hit that's pretty weak for a strong, but covers a huge distance in front of you. Up strong is probably the most powerful. It has weak range, but good angles and high kill power. Down strong is the weakest of the 3 strongs, but it's quite fast and lets you dash to either side of the smoke at the end. While these moves aren't the strongest strongs in the game, they're a major update from the none we had before. Of course, The bomb strongs are still around and work as normal, but you can't spam them as you have to pick a bomb with neutral special every time. This creates some interesting new interactions. The main thing is that the fuse of the bomb gets shorter the longer you hold on to it. Holding it long enough will make the bomb unstable, causing it to explode on impact, but also exploding in Mollo's hands if he gets hit. Holding on to the bombs can provide a lot of worthwhile setups, so consider trying to keep it when you can. You'll drop the bombs upon rolling or air dodging though, so keep that in mind. Speaking of the bombs themselves, there's been a few small reworks. The baseball bomb is now entirely gone, which makes sense as it was always a bit of an odd one out. Also, the finisher bomb's fuse has been greatly reduced, but has a more clear range indicator. The last major change with bombs is that all of your specials now properly interact with them. Forward special will throw the bomb, putting it right in range of the gun to detonate it. Down special attaches the bomb to the end of the bat, causing it to explode when the bat is swung. Lastly, up special will throw your currently held bomb, giving you some height and making your recovery safer. Other than that, Mollo just received a lot of brand new and reworked attacks. Forward air can now be held infinitely and goes through platforms while charging. Dash attack can pick up and throw bombs. Mollo now has a rapid jab where he pulls out a spray can, which has some niche uses. Neutral air is now a fast multi-hit useful for combos. And finally, forward tilt is a strong kick that pushes opponents far away. In general, Mollo just got more stuff, with the kit rebuilt to accommodate those new tools. And last, but certainly not least, Hodan. While the core principles of Hodan are the same, the character received so many changes that this playstyle is just incredibly different. It's crazy to see them as the same character. A lot of this is because Hodan's gimmick has been completely reworked. You no longer gain steam from holding forward, nor do you get steam from being in the sweat spirits. To get steam, you must hold down. While this can limit your movement while charging, a crawl has been added to let you make some adjustments while charging. All of the moves you could charge before can still be charged, but there's a few new moves. Forward air's charged version is now the regular version, and the new charged version is a huge kill aerial. It's well worth the awkward input. And of course, no charge character would be complete without a flash kick, so Hodan got one too. Charged up kick now rises upwards and is quite fast, making it an excellent combo tool. Of course, that leaves the sweat spirits on their own. They don't contribute to steam, and they don't even let you jump cancel moves anymore. Instead, they interact with the specials. The forward special will absorb all of the spirits, increasing its hits and damage. In addition, the up special will always pick up and throw the spirit now. Lastly, but certainly not least, if you're familiar with the Workshop Hodan, you'll know he only had 2 specials, with variants based on the input. These moves have been merged into the same button, opening up 2 more inputs for more specials. The first of these is the neutral special, Gorilla NATO, where Hodan flails wildly in a moving multi-hit. The move stalls in the air and has some combo potential, but doing it too long will stun you for a bit. It also moves the sweat spirits around. Running into one will extend the range and duration of the move. The other new special plays around Hodan's new role as the Master of Elementalism, the unity of the elements. Leaping into the air, Hodan slams down a mud wave, burying opponents hit by it. Hitting a sweat spirit will make this travel the entire stage length. If you're worried about everyone's favorite kill confirm, the Ray William Johnson, fret not. Hodan jumping during the down special still has a hitbox. Furthermore, the move can be cancelled with parry, but in turn puts you in pratfall. However, if the move hits, it can be cancelled without pratfall, allowing you to get that charged up special and find out what's happening for him. Overall, Hodan is a very interesting character, as while the character does feel very different, you can tell that the spirit of the character is alive and well. And that's the gist of the changes. These changes are already drastically shaking up the meta, and I'm very curious to see how everything develops. But what do you think of the new characters? Are you playing any of them? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.